Having somewhere to write everything down when you are getting on with anything, aka working, at all times is so helpful for your brain. It's actually one of the most things you can do to most increase your productivity in the world. And it sounds ridiculous and it's so easy to implement. Before we get into chatting too much about that, let's have a little look at the week that I am memory planning and what I am using. So I am memory planning the week of the 27th of April in my 7x9 Tilly Journals planner, which is my shop, and it is a vertical one column, no dot grid, weekly only planner. And that just basically means that I have week to week to week and then a divider for the months only. I am using a gorgeous kit called Cheers by Josephine Bow Designs, and I got this as part of her subscription when I was subscribed to that, and it is being used because this week we went to two birthday parties, which were absolutely lovely. So it was my grandfather's 101st birthday on the Saturday, so we had a party for him, and then on a Sunday it was one of my friends / Bayla's friends' first birthday, well, my friend's child, Bayla's friend, first birthday party on the Sunday, which was really lovely. So that's why we used this kit. I actually finished a whole 5 books this week, and all of them were after Friday, which is just ridiculous because they were all finished in May. So my sidebar is entirely made up of books that were finished, which worked out quite well because Josephine Bow Designs kits only come with 8 full boxes, so I was able to just keep one in the sidebar and then I could do a day extender on Sunday. What I really loved about this kit is that I could keep the full boxes to their colours, so the colour blocking is on point because every single day the full box matches it. The only one that doesn't is when you open up Sunday, it's bright pink, and I wish I'd put that full box opening the other way because then it would have opened into the Saturday, which is a pink day, but oh well. Anyway, so that's what I'm using. Because it is a foiled kit, I don't have a foil bundle, but I do have the underlays that came with the kit, as well as the deco, which I didn't actually use, and then a sheet of bottom washi from Plannerface because I added in a strip of 15mm washi up at the top, which the washi is also from Plannerface because that was my washi that matched best. Just because I have that little bit of extra space with Josephine Bow design kits. So it was nice and easy just to pop that in, and then the spread was nice and full how I like it to be because there's no deco either. So that washi is basically taking up the extra little bit of bottom washi space because I like my page to be full and also the room that deco would be in. Other things that I do have my scripts pulled out in my Plannerface reusable sticker album. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use Tilly to save 10% when shopping there. I PR because I absolutely love Plannerface and her stuff, not because I get free stuff, but I do get free stuff, so I do just like to give, well, legally have to give that disclaimer, but I also like to give it because I want to be honest. But if you've been here any length of time, you know I absolutely love Plannerface, and that is why I PR. And then I do also have my scripts that I've made myself, and I think I also show you the washi, which I've already said is from Plannerface. So I think that is everything there. As for the week and how that went, let's get straight into that. So as I said, we went to 2 birthday parties this week and I finished 5 books, and I'm just going to run over those and what star rating I gave them. I'm not going to talk about them, but I will just say. So I listened to A Quarter Mist and Fury, which I gave 5 stars. I listened to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which actually I've been listening to for about 6 weeks, and I gave that 3 stars. I read The River Has Roots, which I gave 4 stars, and I read We Should All Be Feminists, which I gave 4.5 stars, but those are both quite short. I think The River Has Roots is between 100 and 200 pages, and We Should All Be Feminists is under 100 pages. And then I also finished listening to The Amber Spyglass, which is one of my chronic rereads that I listen to at bedtime. On to the actual week. On Monday, did some editing, and then it was time for our co-working call as part of our Patreon. During that, I designed some scripts and then went over for a play date at our neighbour's house and had lots of playtime, did some chatting. Bayla did not want to go down to bed, so I was doing bedtime for a very long time and playing some Dreamlight Valley. On Tuesday, I did some more designing of scripts, and then we had baby sensory, did some odd jobs, had some adult time with my husband, and then some cuddles. had playtime, played some Dreamlight Valley, and then Bayla wouldn't go down again. And so I left my husband trying to put her down and went to sleep in the other room. He woke me up during her first night wake up because she would not go down for him again. She just would not settle without the baby, which is fair enough. On Wednesday, I washed my hair and then I went to a dental appointment. I don't know. I thought the week before this, when I said I had a dental appointment, it was the dental, not the dental hygienist, but I think that must have been this week. But oh well. I think this one must have been the hygienist, and the week before must have been my actual dentist. Then I spent some time dissociating, filmed a plan with me, was feeling in my feelings and had some cuddles and chats with my husband. And then when my daughter was back from nursery, had some playtime. On Thursday and Friday, I was at work. So on Thursday, I actually presented in the MDT. So I marked that, and I was just feeling very frazzled and like I wasn't very intelligent or couldn't do things that day. But that is just part of my job sometimes. Then when got back from work, had some playtime and stories with my little girl, played some Dreamlight Valley, and we were finishing listening to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. On to Friday, again, I was at work and this was a better day. After work, came home and did some cuddles and milk and played some Dreamlight Valley. Again, this week, Bayla just did not want to go down for bed, so this was another day when she wouldn't sleep. I did some reading and had lots of cuddles with my daughter. On to Saturday, so this was the first of our party days, played some Dreamlight Valley and filmed a plan with me before we headed to my grandpa's care home for his 101st party, which is just like all our immediate family and my cousins and auntie and uncles and things. It was really lovely. Spent some time chatting. Bayla was walking so much this day. This is when she really picked up her walking and started walking most places. Was in my feelings just generally, and then there was some drama going on in our mum group chat, which was just a bit much. And then went for a bit of a walk when we came home, had lots of playtime, recorded a voiceover, and did some reading to finish the day. On Sunday, I was either absolutely exhausted or had a lie, and I'm not sure which because there's no script there. So I need to go through this planner and check where I'm missing scripts to make sure I cut them. And then we headed over to Alfie's party, which is my friend's baby who was turning 1. There we were doing lots of dancing and lots of chatting. It was such a lovely party. It had such a good vibe. It was so nice. Then when I came home, recorded a voiceover, had some adult time with my husband, went over to my parents' house for some playtime, and then in the evening we had a games night at my house where we played Power Hungry Pets, Codenames Disney, and Herd Mentality. And that was my week. So now let's talk about why one of the best productivity hacks I have is having somewhere to write stuff down at any point in time. So essentially, even people that say they can multitask really well, and I am one of those people, and even people who do multitask really well in terms of they can have background noise and things like that, particularly neurodivergent people, when they actually task switch, by which I mean start doing another task and then go back to their original task, it takes quite a long time to get back to that level of focus that you had when you initially started the task or when you were initially doing the task. It takes an average of 20 to 25 minutes to actually engage fully in a task and get focused. Obviously, not all of this applies to people with ADHD and autism because their brain chemistry is different. But some of it definitely does. And I'm somebody with ADHD that knows that this is true for myself. It takes me a long time to sit down and actually be able to focus on a task. However, I do multitask. I always have something playing in the background and I like to task switch quite a lot. I do then forget what I was working on and it does take time to go back to that. And I know that is part of who I am and how I work. That being said, I know it's not the most productive thing for me. So why is having somewhere to write stuff down so good? And this is essentially because when we get that distracting thought or that, oh my God, I need to do this, we can just scribble it down. Your brain then sees it as something that is done or dealt with, and then it can let go of that thought. So you don't have to remember it, and then you can carry on focusing on your original task. The pro of this is essentially when we don't write it down and we just think, oh, I'll just remember that I have to do that, our brains are holding on to that. They are saying, no, you can't fully concentrate on the task that is at hand because you still have to remember that you have to do this other task. So say, for example, I'm recording this voiceover and while I'm chatting, I remember that, we have to change our bed sheets today, but it's not written down anywhere. in the whole of the rest of the voiceover, actively or passively, I will be going, I need to remember to change the sheets. I need to remember to change the sheets. I really need to remember to change the sheets. And that will mean that I am not as fluent and I'm not as focused on what I'm saying and the voiceover that I am recording. I won't be checking in with my scripts. I say script, it's just some notes that summarize what I want to say. I won't be reading that properly because I won't be able to focus properly because in my head I'm going, I need to change the sheets. I need to change the sheets. Whereas if I just, tab to a different browser and type in sheets, or better yet, pick up a pen and just scribble sheets on a bit of paper, my brain can then just focus back on this voiceover. The reason that the piece of paper is better than tabbing to another page or web browser or whatever is when you tab to something else on your screen, you have so much opportunity to be distracted. I might, be tabbing to sticky notes, which I use quite a lot. They're like sticky notes, but they are on your desktop. I use them quite a lot to make my notes and things. If I tab across to that, I will also probably see all of the other things that are open on my laptop. I will see Chrome, I will see WhatsApp, web, and I will go, oh, I need to reply to that message and blah, 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 blah. And I won't remember that actually all I'm meant to be doing is scribbling down the words sheets and getting back on with my task. So writing it down on paper, much, much better than using digital note-taking tools. Whether it be an important piece of paper or whether it just be a sticky note. And it's not even necessarily that you need to use that sticky note later. It is just telling your brain, thank you for having this thought. I have now processed it and I'm going to get on with my task that I was already in a flow state of. So flow state is essentially when you are working on a task, when your brain gets into the zone essentially and can really focus. As I say, it takes up to 25 to 30 minutes to get into that flow state when doing a task. And that is longer for people with neurodivergence most of the time, unless they are hyper-focused, where it is generally much shorter. But that time can be the thing that really makes you struggle with multitasking. So I fully advocate for always having a piece of paper that you can scribble stuff down in front of you, whether that be at home or at work or both. Ideally both, because at the end of the day, both of those times you will need to get into a flow state and a real state of concentration, because that is how we do our best thinking and how we do our best living is if we are properly focused on tasks, because then the task takes less time. When we're in a flow state, we get stuff done faster. We know this from research. And yes, getting in a flow state can be really boring for neurodivergent brains. Like, it's one of the best ways that neurodivergent brains get bored and want to task switch is because they are in a flow state. And that flow state is just like, I'm bored of this now because I'm concentrating so much on it and I've concentrated on it for so long. However, we still know that despite that, we know that, flow states are actually the best way to get stuff done, whether or not you're neurodivergent or whether you are neurotypical. So you need to protect that flow state at all costs. You really do. And I know you might be listening like, oh yeah, Tilly, I can multitask so well. Haha, I don't know what you're on about. People can multitask. It's just a rumor that people can't. I am genuinely someone who regularly says that I am a good multitasker, and I am a good multitasker because I think really quickly. I manage to flick from task to task to task really quickly, and I don't take as long as that 25 minutes to get back into my flow state most of the time. If I've been in a flow state, I can usually get back into it within sort of 5 minutes. But I am not the norm here. And who's to say that although I am very efficient, that actually I wouldn't be better if I didn't get those distractions and I didn't task switch. Another really good way of sort of combating this is making sure you have notifications off, because notifications are really distracting. So turning notifications off and having sort of office hours where you are going to reply to messages and emails, even in your own brain, or tell your teammate at work is another really good way to make sure that you stay in that flow state and that you don't get distracted by other things. because as soon as you see an email and go, oh, I need to reply to that, tab across to the email, reply to it, you've lost that flow state. So keeping in a flow state is really important if you want to be your most productive self. And I hate that that's true, because I am definitely somebody who prefers to multitask, who feels like I get more done and I have more energy if I multitask. So I'm saying this as somebody that hates it, that it's true. But I do know that realistically, I do get more done when I don't get out of my flow state, or when I get back into it really quickly. So let me know in the comments, how do you protect your flow state? I've given you 2 really good ways of trying to protect it. The other bonus of the scribble down any thought that comes to head and writing it down at the time is that you have this list of like random thoughts, which could be things that you found super productive or you've had great ideas about. It stops you forgetting those great ideas. I have really good ideas where I'll be in the middle of a voiceover and I'll remember something that I want to chat about in a voiceover. I have a list of these saved on my phone and, well, on Google Keep, but I will think of one while I'm talking in a voiceover, or I'll be talking about goals and I'll think of a goal idea. But I will then forget it and end up re-listening to my voiceover to try and trigger the same thought. Do you know what would be better? If I just scribbled that down, and then later in the day, I would have the time and energy to look at that, to do like that sticky note and go, oh yeah, there was this, and that I wanted to deal with. And then I can take that sticky note and deal with it and transfer it to wherever it needs to be. So for examples, if it was changing the sheets, transfer that from my little scribbly sticky note onto my task list. If it was a goal idea, moving it to my goal idea brainstorm. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I will be showing you the leftovers now, and on the screen now, YouTube will be recommending my previous plan with these in this planner, memory keeping videos, and another video it thinks you'll enjoy. Don't forget to comment, like down below, all that kind of jazz, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!